So we are jumping straight into this full glam makeup look. As you guys can see, we have a smoky eyeshadow look. If you want to know how to achieve this beginner friendly eyeshadow look, definitely make sure that you check out the description box and the iCards. I will have this smoky eyeshadow tutorial linked to this video as well. But we're going to go ahead and get into this base. So before I go into any type of product, I'm going to moisturize my skin. I already did my skin prep off camera, but my skin has just been a lot more on the drier side lately, so I'm just going to go in with a little bit of more moisturizer. And this is the Pond's Dry Skin Cream Facial Moisturizer, and I'm just going to rub that in all over the areas where my face has been feeling a lot more on the drier side. So after I have the moisturizer on, I'm going to go in with my first primer. This is the Milk Hydro Grip Eye Primer, and I'm going to apply that right underneath the eyes. And I'm also going to apply this primer in any place where I feel like my makeup would crack at normally for me, which is around the corners of my nose as well. So I'm going to take a dot of that and place that around the corners of my nose. And I don't have bad smile lines, but I am going to place this in that area too. And I'm just going to take my finger to rub that in on the sides of the nose. And also rub that in around the smile line area. And to prime the rest of my skin, I'm gonna go in with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I like this primer because it is good for all skin types. So whether you are a combination oily, dry, normal skin, this primer is going to help to grip your foundation. So I'm just going to place this primer on the areas where I did not put the other primer. So that's going to be on the cheeks, on the outer edges of my face, and then on my forehead. And then whatever is left, I just take that and apply that to the nose and rub it in. Next, I'm going to go in with the Born This Way Too Faced Concealer in the color Chestnut. And I like to use this concealer for any color discoloration that I may have on my skin. So I'm going to place this right underneath my under eyes and then over the top of my lip. And then I also, just wherever I have any spots at, I'm just going to place the concealer over those areas as well. Any spots that I see from, cause y'all, my skin has been acting up lately. Like, I don't know what's going on, but we're gonna get it together. So I have that in those places. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is blend that out, and I'm gonna use the Mary Kay cream color brush to blend out the areas with the concealer. I like to do this first before I go in with any foundation. So I'm just using patting motions to blend that concealer in. And anytime that I don't do this step, I just feel like I have like a little slight shadow in my makeup. So I just like to go in with the concealer first. That I have that blended out to my liking, I'm gonna go in with the NARS. This is the Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation in the color Macao, and I'm just going to place a couple of dots of that all over the cheeks, and then whatever's left on my brush, that's what I'm gonna use to blend out everywhere else. And I have a little bit that I can put on the nose. So before I blend out my foundation, I like to go in with the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. I feel like anytime that you're doing your makeup, you want to just make sure you're continuing to set it throughout the process. I feel like that's what's going to help your base last a whole lot longer. So I'm just going to spray this all over the face. And then I'm going to use my Real Techniques 202 brush. This is the Instapot face brush. I love using this brush because it has a nice slight angle to it and it just gets in those crevices really good. So I'm just going to use that to blend out the foundation all over the face. And when you're blending out your foundation, you always want to make sure that you go down around your jawline, up into your hairline, up into your ear, because that's just going to help make it look like, well, it's going to help us from not looking like we're wearing a mask and just blending everything out together. A couple of different shades to highlight and contour. So first I'm going to go in with the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the color Butterscotch, and I'm also going to mix that with the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the color, I believe this is Deep Camel. Yes, Deep Camel. The reason why I'm going in with both of these, because these are pretty much the same shade. The hydrating concealer is hydrating, obviously, so that's just going to give the under eye the hydration that it needs, but I'm only going to place the hydrating concealer in underneath the eyes. I'm not going to apply that one on the rest of my highlighting areas. To begin out to blend out my concealer, the first thing I'm going to go in with is the Real Techniques setting brush. This is their 402 brush, and I'm going to do the chin, the bridge of the nose, the tip of the nose, and then I'm going to go back in and do the under eyes. I like to do the under eyes last because it just makes it a little bit more full coverage. This is the full coverage concealer already, the Too Faced one. So, but I just like to allow it to sit a little bit underneath the eyes before I blend it out. And I'm just doing tapping motions, and this brush is a circular shape, so I'm just doing tapping motions right on the chin. And I'm gonna take my foundation brush and just go around the edges of the concealer just so that way everything blends in together. To blend out my nose, I'm going to use a smaller brush. This is the Essence Smoky Eyes brush, and I'm going to use that brush too. And matter of fact, this one's too big. I'm going to go in with the Morphe M431 brush. This one is a little bit smaller, a lot more tapered, and I'm going to use that one to blend out my nose highlight. Now I'm going to go in with two brushes. First, I'm going to go in back into the Real Techniques brush, the 402 brush, and we're going to start tapping the under eyes. And first, I'm going to do the outer portion, and then I'm going to go in with a smaller brush as I get closer. So now I'm going to switch to the Mary Kay Cream Color Brush because this one is a lot smaller and a lot more tapered, and I can get right underneath my under eye with this brush. So I'm going to actually finish setting this eye before we jump over to the other eye. So now that I have it all blended out to my liking, and as you guys can see, I blended the concealer up because I want a nice snatched look. I want to lift the face up. So now I'm going to go into my powders. So the first thing that I'm going to go into is a loose powder. And I haven't used this powder in a while. This is the Fenty Beauty Honey Powder. I'm going to go in with that one, this loose powder first, and then I'm going to go in with a pressed powder. So I'm going to dip my Beauty Puff into the powder. And I'm going to get off any excess powder so that way I can have a nice smooth base. And I'm going to take the powder puff and wipe that on the back of my hand as well. And before I actually apply the powder puff to blend it out, I am going to take that brush and just blend out those creases underneath my under eye first before I go in with the powder puff. And actually, I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna do the loose powder with another, I have another Real Technique setting brush. I'm gonna go in with the brush first and see if I like that. So going in with the brush first, tapped off the excess and seeing if we like the brush effect first. This is the MAC Studio Fix powder in the color NC45. And I'm gonna take the powder puff, a little bit of it, and just go underneath the under eye, right underneath the under eye with the pressed powder. I don't know how I forgot about my cream bronzer. I done went on ahead and set my under eyes, but this is the Black Radiance True Color Foundation Stick in the color Suede Mocha. I'm gonna use this to add a little bit of warmth and bronziness to the skin. Gonna place that on the cheekbones. The only reason why I'm not doing my forehead is because of the way the hairstyle is. It's gonna cover that anyway. But I would normally do the temples of the forehead. Well, yeah, I normally would do those. And then I'm gonna do the bridge of the nose. And I'm gonna take a angled brush to do my nose. And I like to connect my bronzer or contour on the nose into my eyeshadow as well. To blend out the bronzer on the cheeks, I'm going to be using the Real Techniques 405 brush. It is a smaller version of the Instapot face brush, so I'm just going to use that to blend out the bronzer on the sides of my cheeks. And to set the bronzer, I'm going to go into the Beauty Bakery Brownie Bar, and I'm going to use the shade in the middle. And I'm just going to apply that on all of the areas that I applied the cream shade. This is coming together so good, y'all. Like, this is exactly what I had imagined for this look. All right, y'all, that is all that I have for this beginner-friendly makeup tutorial. If you enjoyed this video, definitely do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, drop me a comment down below, and of course, share this video with your beauty besties so that way we all can look fabulous together. And you guys already know what to do. Remember to stay beautiful, stay blessed, stay safe, and stay poppin'. And I'm gonna catch you guys in my next video. Bye.